For a long time, I've talked about the anatomy of a bubble chart. It's the best framework I know to understand the major movements of the market, better than any data model. It's a psychological model. I talked about that in my most recent update, and I'm sharing it again here. If you like this content, give it a thumbs up, share it with people you know.
There are a lot of things, there are a lot of circumstances that are aligning to have a fairly significant 2025. The question is, how does that play out? Fortunately, we have a framework for conceptualizing that, and it's the anatomy of a bubble cycle. I've talked about this for a long time. This is like what I would consider a cycle, and it happens on the day in the course of a given day or week, and it happens on long multi-year time periods where you have this stealth phase where price is low and it starts to move up, and then people start noticing. There's a sell-off, the insiders get out, the institutional investors go in, the big funds, smart, they call themselves smart money, but the smart money is really back here. People like us, we were buying during the bear market. But they come in and then they kind of move the market higher until you get this amazing like euphoria, something similar to what we had earlier this year, but even bigger. Although on a small scale, that's what we did earlier this year. And at that point, the smart money and the institutional investors get out. So there's this drop, and then the people come in and say, "Oh, I missed that one, but I'm going to catch this next one," and then or push it up a little bit. That gives everybody who didn't sell up here a chance to sell again. There's not enough money coming in to support the market, and then we roll over, we go down. That's the classic behavioral model, and it reflects itself in prices. And we've so taken what I've just shown you and all the things we've talked about over the past many weeks. It is clear that we are moving through the awareness phase here. We're in the middle or ending the first sell-off. So either we just had our bear trap, or this general like past few months, maybe we turn back down to mid 60s again, and then that kind of concludes it, and we finish what they call the bear trap, that first sell off, and then we're on our way. Pretty clear that that's where we are. The problem is we don't know about prices. Doesn't This chart does not predict prices. It doesn't predict timing. It gives you a sense of the market, how the market moves based on the contours of the line. So we really care about the contours of the line, but you can't fit it to the price. If you go back to the 2015 to 2018, 17, 18 cycle back here, it was the same thing. You had this stealth phase and it kind of worked our way up and went up. And then there was this first sell off, dropped down. It took 6 months to get back to even. And then boom, everything you wanted. Euphoria, peak, new paradigm, everything came back down, little bounce back, and then collapse. Let's change the view a little bit, zoom in a little bit. Same thing here. You had this stealth phase, first sell off, big sell off, and then just rip roaring zoom, new paradigm, everything was exploding. Doge, Elon talking about Doge on SNL, Coinbase goes public. I don't know if you were around back then, but people were like, "Oh my God, it's going to go up forever," and it didn't. And then we made that last run, right? That return to normal before rolling over again and falling down. It's the same thing both times. 2021 was this, to the first peak and then down, and then here return to normal. Our return to normal brought us back to a little bit higher than it was before. Like I said, it's not price, it's not timing, in the sense that this move and this move, it's not proportional to what you see on the chart, but it's the same contours. 2015 to 2017 just showed you. Stealth phase, stealth phase. Take our first sell off, 2016. Tika talks about how, oh, he found out about Bitcoin back here, and then it went down, and then he bought. And a lot of people said that. And then you had 2017, went up like crazy, went down. We saw that bounce back towards, the springtime of 2018. And at that time, some of the altcoins doubled or tripled in just a month or two. And people thought, okay, well, back to normal. And then we had the collapse. Not a price chart, not a movement chart. And we buy here, 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 and here.
If you're not already subscribed to my newsletter, Crypto's Easy, and you want to know how we identify those great times to buy and what we do about selling, click over to the update. It's a link in the description below.